good audio last week, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you pull yours out?
I did. I pulled it out, started reading the instructions, and that's as far as I got.
All right.
It's one of those kind of deals.
Now we got to share it. Now we've got to share it. Your channel. Be sure and grab the right one, because it. Good Lord. Be sure and grab the right one. 'Cause it, yeah, there I am. There we are. That was the right one. We need to talk about Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
You heard where he paid off half of the promise that Amber Heard made to ACLU?
No.
Yeah. In the divorce settlement, there was like $2.3 million she received
Amber
from
Heard?
from Johnny Depp that she promised to the ACLU. Well, she didn't pay it all to ACLU, and most of it was paid when she was dating Elon Musk.
How did y'all get in here? Gad had this all taped off.
No.
See that black tape he had?
Yeah, I saw it in
You know
there.
what that was for?
Uh-uh.
Keep werewolves out.
That's about right.
He's about used up all my tapes down them werewolves.
There you go. All right, man. Karate chop that guy. I love Mike to death, but good Lord, he shows up. He shows up. Things go awry. That's right. Yeah, let's see here. If you're out there and you can hear us, if you're out there and you can hear us,
Let us know.
let us know. So hilarious. Some of the music that is on this deal here. So we are. Should be good
Are we
to go.
live on YouTube?
I think so. Still very much live. Yeah, he's got it in there. Excellent connection. So, you are listening to Not on the Payroll right here at KJS 107.3, right here in Jasper. Man, it has been a couple of weeks, and we are back. We got bumped. You know what I'm saying? We got bumped for basketball or baseball or something. Was it baseball?
Baseball.
It wasn't basketball?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
I'm not sure exactly what was happening. I'm pretty sure
I'm
it was
pretty sure it's
baseball.
baseball, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm your host, Jay Sharp, and I have my co-host here, Kerry Thomas. We have managed to come together on this fine evening. Sir, how was your week?
Yeah. It
The
was
week of the
okay.
retired.
It was the okay.
The week.
Okay. You know, when you're retired, they all kind of start running together.
Absolutely.
You know, it's 1 week, it's just 1 week. You know, it's cold 1 week and warm 1 week, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's the same principle going over and over again.
You just mainly forget your, how do you put it? You forget what day it is.
and don't care.
And don't care.
And don't care.
Well, there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a good show for you tonight. It's going to be a hodgepodge, if you were, or if you will. Looks like we've got a few sponsors here to tell you about. We really appreciate our sponsors. Stewart
We do.
Glass. They can take care of all of your glass needs. That's either auto or home. Vicky Stewart, Sammy, or Craig, they can all hook you up. And if Craig gets out of line, all you got to do is talk to Miss Vicky. She'll handle that. But no, the good part is they are here in Jasper. They service all over the place. So if you're out there in the listening area, or if you're listening to us on YouTube, you can actually, you can, I guess you can check us out, or check them out rather, right here in Jasper on the south side of 190 if you're heading out there toward Walmart. Matter of fact, I think it's right there before the Ashley Home Store on the left-hand side. So we do appreciate Stewart Glass for supporting and backing the First and Second Amendment, which is what we stand for here. We also want to thank Lake Area Pond. Lake Area Pond has stepped in the ring with us and is helping us put this show on. And we really appreciate those guys. If you have pond needs, say you're coming to the end of your month and you don't have enough money, the pawn shop can hook it up. The pawn shop can take care of you. And a matter of fact, if you're looking for weaponry, they've got you hooked up too. If you're looking for saddles, fishing, tackle, tools,
Guitars.
guitars, they've got all kinds of things. So the best bet is to just go down there to Lake Area Pond and check those guys out. Check out what they've got. They're great people to work with. Very, very easy in and out, and will take care of what you've got or what your needs are. Also want to throw out a shout out to a new sponsor here, Auto Salon. They're right here in town. And matter of fact, they are over here on the, I guess that would be, what is that side of town?
It's north side of town.
Okay, so
Going towards
Am I turned
towards
around?
Brooklyn.
okay, so
Yeah.
no. All right, so heading toward Jasper from the radio station, they're on the right hand side. So heading back to town, they're on the right hand side.
It'd be
So
on the
that'd
south side.
That would be
Going towards the south, yeah.
heading toward the south, but they're on the west side. Would that be? Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
thoroughly confused,
that
but I
would
can tell you
be
this:
yes.
they're not thoroughly confused down there at the auto
That would be the
salon.
west side, yes.
You've got Eric Wiley. He's down there. He's the owner and operator, and his crew. Those guys, they take care of everything, man. If you haven't been down there, they can hook you up. They've got an engine bay for detailing, buffing, waxing, carpet shampooing. Matter of fact, they can even do water spot removal and you get like those specs on your vehicles. Is there a call in? Yeah, just tell them to hold tight. We'll be right there with them. Yeah. So anyway, here's the deal. It is a call-in show, 384-2626, 384-2626. But over at Auto Salon, you can also get your oil changed as well.
There you
if
go.
you want to touch base with those guys, 384-5795, 384-5795. They're located at 235 North Wheeler Street here in Jasper. We are back on the air. What, they hung up? Or are they still here? Told them to call back. All right, so call back when you get a chance. But here's the deal. This is not on the payroll. It is kind of a mess. It is. We're kind of. We took a couple of weeks where we were just on Facebook or just on YouTube.
Just on YouTube, right.
And went pretty well. I mean,
I thought it went real well.
We had a number of people.
We had a 2-hour special last week.
We did, actually. We had a tactical guy come in who was with Spears Tactical over
Right.
in Newton.
Right.
And he sat down with us and really just talked to us about some of the ins and outs of preparedness and things like that. We want to have him back on the show at some point and kind of dig into maybe some of this food shortage stuff that we're going to talk about tonight.
I think we need to broach into that.
Because, I mean, really, honest to God, I mean, to me, nobody knows what's about to happen. I mean, Johnny Depp's on trial with a psycho. Elon Musk is out there buying Twitter for cash.
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 Wrote an IOU, somebody said for it.
Cash.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Come on.
Then we've got Bill Gates buying up all the farmland.
Yeah.
What in the hell is happening?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's This is not on the payroll, man. Give us a call if you've got something that you want to chime in on. 384-2626, 384-2626. A couple of little announcements here. Newton County Judge runoff. Newton County. If you're over there in Newton County, guess what, Newton County? We have the final debate coming on May 3rd. May 3rd around 6 o'clock, we are going to be having the final debate. It is only going to be on YouTube. Only going to be on YouTube. So I tell you what. Let's see here. Let's jump off over here to a caller right fast. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, good evening. How are you doing?
We're trying to
Doing
do
all right.
good, sir. How are you?
Well, at least Carrie's a gentleman. I don't know about that other guy.
Well, that's all right.
Don't go that far.
Yeah, I've been missing you guys, so I'm glad you're back.
Yes.
We are too.
Yeah. Early elections, Newton, Jasper, everybody, we got early elections, Jay. You know what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
No one's escaped. As of Wednesday, yesterday, I had a total, what I totaled up, only 186 people in the city election that voted.
I looked at it. I looked at the numbers, and that was like 1%, 2% of the eligible voters.
That's pretty gross.
Yeah, it's
Actually.
pretty bad.
It's real bad. I mean, we've had more people voting in the school board and the hospital district board than in the city election.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I mean, why do you think people don't get out and vote? I mean, considering you're an elected official, why do you feel like people don't get out and vote?
I think the trend, to me, from what I've seen in the city of Jasper, it's kind of basically anywhere. People don't get out and vote unless it's a general election.
Yep, you're right.
It's going to be, like presidential elections and senators and your congressmen and your state substitutes. They get out and they go to the polls.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's more exposure for any of the locals that are running. But other than that, they sit back and they think that, well, somebody's going to go out. I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
But the numbers are not saying that. The numbers are saying, no, somebody's not doing it. And I've looked at some of the names on the reports that have been put out by the city election secretary. There's a lot of the same people.
Right.
A lot of the same people that get out and do early voting.
It always is. It always is, and it always will be, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how we break through that thing.
You got me. I don't know how you make that transition from not giving them or not caring.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
And
So when's the actual election? When is the actual day?
the 7th.
Okay, so May 7th. So
That's a week from Saturday, and I think that the polls that day are open from 7 to 7.
okay, from 7 to 7. So
Right
hopefully
now,
people start pouring in.
1 to 5.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, sounds good, man. We appreciate you giving us a
I'm
call.
glad you put 2 auto salon in there. You reminded me I got to take my caddy down there tomorrow.
There you
I'm
go.
gonna tell you something. I think they can hook it up, man.
There you go.
They can hook you up. All right, man. Have a good night.
Keep it up.
All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, give us a call if you've got something you want to chime in on. 384-2626, 384-2626.
He's right about the lack of people voting. There's a site on the Texas Secretary of State's site where you can look up by county the amount of people that are voting and by different precinct how they're voting.
Yeah.
And it's pitiful statewide. We're talking about Jasper County. The last time I checked, it was like 1%.
Yeah.
And we're talking about once you get down to Buna and places like that, you can't even see a number
Yeah.
because they can't. They don't have an early voting place down there to vote.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know, and it's really kind of upset me. In the past they usually have an early voting place
Why
in
wouldn't
Buna.
they just have one in Buna? I mean,
It has to be economics. It has to be economics. It's the
economics
only
of
thing.
what?
Can't afford to put poll workers down there. It's the only thing I can figure.
Can't afford to pay $15 a day. What I mean,
Well,
what
it's more
I
than
don't know.
15.
I don't know
It's-
what they pay.
yeah, I don't know what they pay 'em
But I mean,
either.
for God's sakes,
They need to. And the deal is, they have several of the polls they have consolidated for the general election on May 7th. And I know they don't think it's a big deal, but yeah, it's a Texas constitutional amendment deal. We're voting on 2 propositions here in the state of Texas that are kind of important because it involves property taxes. And
I don't get
I was,
it, man.
Matter of fact, today I measured how far it was from Gist to the sub-courthouse there in Buna.
Right.
It's 30-mile round trip.
30 miles round
30
trip.
mile round trip you're going to have to drive to vote Saturday, where normally they get to vote at the New Cherry Grove Baptist Church.
You think Cherry Grove Baptist Church threw them out?
No.
Say no.
No.
We're not.
They have voted at New Cherry Grove Baptist Church since it's
You know
been
what
there.
I'm, you know
Since
what
it's
I've-
been there.
You know what I've noticed though. One of the other dilemmas may be that it's hard to find poll workers.
You think that's the deal?
Man, I'll be honest with you. Anytime I have voted at any of those little extension spots or anything like that, it's always elderly folks, 60 plus, 65 plus, sitting there handling it. And I think what happens is, and this may not be the reason, but I think what happens, over time, man, every year you're counting on the same people to show up.
and work.
Little Miss Betsy Little Miss Johnson
Yeah.
is showing up down there with their cookies and their drink, and they're making sure everybody's doing everything right, and that's awesome. But what happens is, what volunteerism are you getting out of any of this younger crowd? I mean, I'll be honest with you, it doesn't look like much.
I know that.
It's getting sicker and sicker, and then now we're in the world of pajamas and cell phones, which is streetwear.
Right.
I mean,
Jay, I voted Tuesday, and I literally have to drive through a cow pasture to get to my polling spot.
and who was there when you got there?
There were-
Some young folk.
No, it was 4 old people, my age, old people,
Right.
and but there were 4 of them.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was like a hangout.
yeah.
Yeah. Nobody in this generation is. There are a few. There are a few people who are involved, but by and large, you're looking at an older populace who are manning these polls. And
But
sometimes
it's been
they
that
do-
way forever.
I understand that.
You
But
know,
I mean,
when
at the
when
same
I first
time-
started voting at 18 in 1976,
Yeah.
it was
But what I'm
ancient.
saying.
What I thought was ancient people.
But what I'm
running
saying
the
is,
polls.
what I'm saying is, you don't have a generation that's following your generation. You don't have a generation who's picking up that weight. Every generation, I mean, from the time you were a kid, I don't know how many generations that would be, but
300 years.
From the time you were a kid, though,
Right.
the next generation just kind of picked up the slack,
Right.
And the older people got, and before long, you might be sitting on one of them polls, watching the polls for folks.
That'd be interesting. I'll
Is
tell
that-
you that much. That
So-
would be definitely interesting.
So we got a few races here in Jasper. In Jasper City Council race, you have incumbent, who is David Schultz, and you have incumbent Laura Golden, and she's also the at-large position. And from what I understand, Rashad Lewis he is running against Laura Golden for the at-large position, and you also have Steve Adams. Steve Adams is running against Mr. Schultz. So you have a few options out there, and I would just encourage you. Here's the thing. Some people have asked, man, I see that you did an interview with this person and that person and that person. Aren't you kind of cherry picking this thing? Why are you not interviewing all these other people? I'll be honest with you. There's only a few things that I beg for. And they'll go nameless. But here's the truth. I'm not going to beg on this thing.
No.
I'm not going to beg for somebody to come and sit down. I mean, all I can do, the best I can do, is give an opportunity and an open mic.
Is ask.
That's it.
Yeah.
I have had a couple preliminary meetings. I've had a couple preliminary talks. And I'll be honest, it's like over in Tyler County. I have communicated with the people who are running in Tyler County.
All right.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Crickets out of Tyler County. I have contacted, I forget what the gentleman's name is. I think it's Mr. Powers, who's running for county judge over there, and the Miss Riley. I'm not going to beg. You know what I'm saying? And some people are not geared for doing an interview. But the way I look at it is this. It kind of boils down to this. The best way I can give back at this point is to open up a microphone and allow you to speak your message and communicate with the people and let the chips fall where they may. And so we've done that with Mr. Rashad Lewis. We've opened it up to everybody else on the city
Say
council.
everybody on the city council has been given the opportunity to
so,
be interviewed. Yeah.
So to me, you get what you get. It really boils down to maybe a time thing. It may just be a personality thing or whatever. But to me, if you're out there and you're running for something and you're interested in actually sitting down and having a conversation, even if you're over in Newton County. I live in Newton County, so it makes it easy. But if you're over there and you're running for something and you want to sit down for an interview, go to our website, notonthepayroll.com. You can log in right there and you can shoot me a message. And I'll be more than happy to set up the time to come and sit down and do an interview with you. But I'm not going to beg. After 4 or 5 times, it feels like, honestly, it feels like I'm stalking in some way, shape, or form. I mean, here's what's even crazier than that. So, and I think this speaks to the communities around here, but we're having this debate over here, and it's
Right.
really going to be a friendly debate, an
Sure.
easy debate, talking about the future and the direction of Newton County. We made it available for all the schools in Newton County. We sent out invites.
All right.
We told them what we were requesting.
All right.
Send a couple of kids who might be interested and their government teacher and have them come and ask a question, just one question. We're not going to charge them at the door to get in. All they have to do is show up. Immediately got a response of no. We're not going. We will not participate in that.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here going, okay, is it the kids who are disconnected, or is it the parents, or is it the school teachers? What's happening here?
I'm going to bet that the teacher. This is going to come from an old government teacher. I'm going to bet that the government teacher didn't want to do it. That's going to be my guess. I may be wrong, but I'm going to guess the government teacher did not want to have to fool with it.
All I can sit here and think is you're giving and granted, I mean, hey, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. You don't have to do it.
And I'm wondering if the government teacher, as a administrator told me years ago concerning social studies teachers, most of them have another area they're more involved in with the school.
I got you.
Understand what I'm saying? Everybody understands what I'm talking
Sure.
about there.
Yeah, bus driving or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
But my whole take is this, man. I mean, if somebody would have called Buna High School and said, hey, listen, we've got this opportunity. All you have to do is show up with a couple of kids, and just
I'd
ask
have brought
a
my
question.
AP class.
Absolutely.
I'd have brought my AP class. I'd have loved to have had something like that happen.
Absolutely. And it's baffling to me to have one school responded, said, yeah, I think we'll be there. And the gentleman said, if we can't round up any kids, we'll show up. And I'm thinking, okay, well, cool. One school said, no, we will not participate. And another school says, matter of fact, the other school said, we'll get back with you. And so,
have you heard back from them?
I have hit these people up 2 or 3 times,
okay,
just to try to check on them. I'm not trying to badger them.
No,
just saying, hey, we just want to prepare.
Just a friendly reminder.
Just to prepare.
Yeah.
But it's almost like it's just kind of weird. So anyway, neither here nor there.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen, but I know this: we will be asking all the questions that you want to hear over in Newton County. Especially with everything that is about to change in Newton County.
Sure.
Also,
have you decided what you're going to wear to this affair?
Man, I think I've been watching
blue jeans and t-shirt.
I think I've been watching a lot of Yellowstone, so I'm probably going to wear a button-down shirt and a vest. So I mean, that's what I'm going with. Button-down shirt and a vest.
I have my pinstripe suit been already picked out.
Do you really?
Yes, sir.
Very cool.
I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to wear a bow tie or not.
I'm thinking about putting you kind of at the helm of this deal and just let you be the firing squad. So, but we'll see what happens. We'll get up there.
I can do it.
And
no problem.
We'll
I can do it.
Hey, want to remind everybody down there in the Buna area, if you're down there around 8:15. The rodeo arena, they are having a prayer vigil for Christy Russo. And the family's going to be down there. A lot of folks are going to be down there. But get down there and show your support. At this point, I would imagine just from everything that's been said, everything that's been talked about, it's probably at this point a recovery type of effort.
Can I talk for a minute?
Absolutely.
I have a couple of people that have contacted me in the last week concerning this.
Okay.
I haven't told you this, and I should have. One of them is let me put it this way. One person is a very upstanding member of the community.
Okay.
The other one is, for lack of better words, an outlaw.
Okay.
Okay? And let me put it this way. They told pretty much the same story.
Really?
With just a few details, just a little amiss,
Right.
but it was pretty much told the same way. And from what I understand, there are videos out there going around of combination of the actual event and people confessing. Now,
What is going
I
on
don't know.
in this community?
I don't know. And I don't know if these are true stories or not.
Interestingly enough,
But it makes you wonder at some point, why has the sheriff's department not received one of these videos? And in one of the communities down in South County, apparently they know everybody involved and who did it, but they're afraid to come forward. So, I'm just saying. Now, I heard some names that were supposedly involved. When I heard the names, I said, not shocked. Not surprised at all. So, anyway, Jay, it just turns your stomach.
it's disgusting.
And some of the other stuff, some of the details that I've heard, I really don't want to talk about on the
yeah,
air.
no, I get it.
Because
I get
it kind of made me sick to my stomach when they told me about
It's
it.
twisted.
Yeah.
I think this. The reward is up over $11,000.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It's $11,000 now.
And I'm sitting here going, these people are putting together a reward just for the recovery effort. Whoever has the clue to find out where she's located.
And I'm going to say something here, and this may either disappoint somebody or shock somebody. I don't know if there can be a recovery at this point.
Well, they can at least recover the body, right?
I don't think so.
Wow.
And that's from both my sources.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said.
That is crazy to me.
I know it.
And here's what's nuts. There are people in Bunham who almost seem aloof to the drug world and all that stuff that's going on down there. That's what's crazy to me.
This all revolves around methamphetamine. All of it. The entire situation revolves around methamphetamine. And it's one of the people that told me, says it took a bunch of meth heads to act this way.
Yeah. Well,
says if they were on heroin or any other drug,
sure,
they wouldn't have done this.
Right.
But methamphetamine just does something to your brain.
I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting that you say that there's someone out there who knows. There's people
It's
out
more.
there who know.
There's more than.
I agree. I believe it. I believe it 100%. And my question is this: why is it's like I received a phone call the other day from Christy's mother's. And she's telling me information, and I'm sitting here going, why is the sheriff's department? Where's the sheriff's department? That's my question.
Yeah, where is the sheriff?
Where's
at
the
this
sheriff's
point?
department on this deal? Who's investigating this thing? Because if we're getting all this information, that you've got entire groups of people down there who know. And I even heard about the videos this past week. I heard that they have videos passing around, and I'm like, what in the hell is happening?
Yeah.
I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. I don't understand.
It is literally one of these guys that I spoke to is a very upstanding person, a friend of mine. He and I have talked theology before more than once. As a matter of fact, I've gone to a interfaith deal with him before.
Yeah.
And when he got through telling me what all had gone on, I literally had to almost get up and throw up.
Really?
Yeah, that's how bad it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. So if you're down there, man, if you're down there around the Buena area, you want to go down to the rodeo arena for the prayer vigil for Christy Russo. It's at 8:15 on County Road 726. It's the rodeo arena. I think they call it the Bridal Club.
Bridal
or something,
Club,
you know,
yeah.
something along those lines. But
726.
yeah, 726 County Road 726.
For those
that's
of
where
you
it's
who
at.
do not know, that's the road that runs by the railroad track there on
Yep.
62.
Yep, like if you're headed out toward Mauriceville, you're going
Right.
to cross over the tracks, hook a left.
Right.
Drive on down, and you'll see it on the right. And so, also another thing, just to put a word out there, if you're over by 63 and 255, we were told that there's a major wreck out over there. Life flights, whole 9 yards, so you may navigate around that.
They said the traffic was stopped both ways.
Yeah, they said it was both ways shut down. So anyway, that may help somebody out there. Give us a call if you've got something you want to chime in on, 384-2626. That's 384-2626. Man, what do you think about Johnny Depp's psycho girlfriend?
Wife. He married her.
Wife,
Left
girlfriend,
his first
yeah.
wife for her.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder if he's to be honest with you, I think they're all crazy.
They're actors, man. Come on.
They're all crazy.
You know, all that drama people,
Are
music
crazy.
people. You know this. They're all nuts.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
one of them. Those artistes.
Well, and what's
They're all
funny
nuts.
is to listen to Johnny Depp talk, you think he's from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Other than Kentucky.
Yeah. He's Kentuckian with a fake British accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing in the world.
It's the oddest thing ever.
And he's just like,
Yeah.
you know. I thought his little banter back and forth with some of the lawyers was pretty funny. But I'll be honest with you, man, it is a circus. I'm sitting there watching this thing and watching how much time is being given to this thing, whereas Ghislaine Maxwell is still crickets as to what's going on with her.
I thought they sentenced. Have they not sentenced her?
I don't know. But what I'm saying is,
But she's in federal court, and sentencing takes forever in federal court.
I don't give a crap. I don't care. My whole point is, we're sitting here being fed Johnny Depp and his wife, who decided to defecate on his side
of the bed. Yeah.
And I'm sitting here going, this is all show. This is all theater. This is all distraction. That's all this whole thing is.
I watch a lot of YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, you know. And
You look like a YouTube.
I am a YouTube kind of guy. Yeah, I'm a YouTube kind of guy. There's a lot of economic people on YouTube, and they just fascinate me. I hate to tell you all that, but they just fascinate me.
Oh, my gosh.
And I got to flipping through there the other day, and I came across just one site that was carrying the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial.
Yeah.
500,000 people were watching that one site.
500,000. I know.
Jay, I went down a little further and found CBS's coverage, live coverage, 300,000. Finally, I came across some independent persons, and he had 250. So we're talking 1 million people here
Yeah.
are watching this live. Do we got no life in this country?
Yeah.
Is this what we've come to?
It's over. We're all going to die. That's where it's at.
1 million people are watching. This is just on 3 sites.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more.
No, there's absolutely more. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, man, we're idiots.
Oh, yeah.
We're sucked into this thing like the O.J. Simpson trial.
Well,
I mean,
I'll tell
think
you what,
about it.
yeah,
though.
I know.
But think about it, though. We're
Were you-
sitting here the whole time they're doing NATO. We're sucked in to the O.J. Simpson trial. I'm sitting here
Were
saying,
you at Buena when we did the O.J. Simpson trial? Were you there?
I graduated in 95, so I don't know
No,
where.
you did not. You did
So it
not.
was
You would have remembered. You would have remembered.
Okay.
I will never forget. The verdict came during lunch. The bell, everybody had TVs on. The bell rang for everybody to go to lunch, but everybody was watching the O.J. Simpson trial on TV in their rooms.
Right.
Not a kid left the room to go eat lunch. That's the first time it's the only time I ever saw that. Where kids were 10 minutes late to lunch to watch the verdict for O.J. Simpson. I'm sitting there going, we've lost it.
Yeah,
And I'm as bad because I'm sitting there watching it too.
Yeah, exactly. We're asking for them to pass the popcorn. You know, I don't know what's wrong with us. There's somehow or another we are all in one way, shape, or form fouled out when it comes to how quick we get dragged into this.
Celebrities.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
and
know.
they don't know who you are or care.
No, they don't care. They don't care. You know, I mean, Johnny Depp sitting there talking about he had to go to his island to rehab.
Yeah.
And then his wife wouldn't let him rehab or give him the medicine or whatever. I'm sitting here going, okay, is this not Days of Our Lives?
Sure.
Is this not a?
I think it's taking over for General Hospital
100%.
and All My Children.
Who
and
can watch that crap
As the
now?
World Turns?
Who can watch any of that stuff now? I mean, you have all this reality TV, which is all a hoax, and then
it's all fixed.
you
Yeah.
take this whole thing right here. I'm sitting here going, you know, Johnny Depp is sitting here just smirking and talking like a psycho, and and how many of these Johnny Depp videos have you seen pop up where he's going around hugging these children at cancer, at like cancer clinics?
Dressing
and
as
stuff?
a Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow.
And you go in there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, who's paying for that? Johnny Depp
Johnny
is.
Depp
you
is.
you can guarantee it. Put your money on it.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, something else that you can put your money on, and I want to throw this wager out here to you: the good people of Jasper, Texas. I'm willing to put out $1,000.
Uh-oh.
$1,000
Uh-oh.
to say that as soon as these elections are over, here we go back with the broadband circus again.
You think so?
Absolutely.
No, you're probably
Absolutely. Absolutely, because here's the thing. Here's the deal. They can't stop at this point in their own mind. There's an ego that's pushing this thing for some reason. I'm not sure why, but there's an ego that's pushing this. I mean, here, let's just
Is this in
let's just do
spite
quick-
of the elections?
Let's just do quick numbers. I talked to Judge Mark Allen the other day.
Okay.
Sat down with him. He said that Charter Spectrum, which is one company, Charter
Sure,
Spectrum,
sure.
received a grant from the FCC
Right.
for right at $14 million.
Hey, you told me this
for the county.
You told me this. Yeah. You went
For the county.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we went on when we were
Yeah.
off the air, you told me this. Yes.
$14 million for the
Right.
county. For
Do
the
you know
county.
when? And I was asked because a couple of people heard this when we talked
Yeah.
about it on YouTube.
Right.
Do you know when it will happen? Because down in South County, they're going, we need broadband.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Well, here's what.
So they
here's
want to
what
know.
else-
Do you know when it's going to?
I
happen?
don't have a
Okay.
time frame on it. At the same time, it's already been given to Charter Spectrum,
Right.
and that is a supplier of internet
Internet
access.
sources. Yeah.
So Charter Spectrum put some money up,
Right.
and all this thing came together. From what I understand, now we have a situation in Jasper proper where Jasper proper has $16 million that they're going to spend on, or at least this is what's being pushed, $16 million on an infrastructure bill, which it is the equivalent of hiring. Well, let's do it like this. This would be a good analogy. It's the equivalent of hiring a company to come in and put a water well in a place where there is no water. Does this make sense?
No.
I mean,
No,
it's
it
like,
don't.
hey, we're going to pay you to come drill us a water well where there is no water. Okay? So all I can say is, because you still have to have a service provider, and they're still going to cost, and we don't know if by the time a service provider gets involved that all of the specs that have been followed with Kramer services are going to still be relevant for the actual service. Now, there's some on the council who would say that I provide some misinformation. But once again, I'd like to bring up the fact that I have made this microphone abundantly available. Matter of fact, they all have Facebook and YouTube, and none of them have recanted any of this because they can't. They can't. It's $16 million versus $14 million that Charter's already received. And so, here's another good idea. Why don't we, if we're going to be good stewards of the $30-something million that we have in this community, $30-something million, why don't we pay, if we want to, to me, when I look at city government or look at these things, I think to myself, how do we be the best steward of the money that we have under our control? Well, first of all, spending $16 million on the infrastructure may be the best way. At the same time, there's a bunch of people jumping up and down talking about, well, we can't get grants. We can't get grants. Well, Newton County got 2 grants. Charter Spectrum got 2 grants. Sabine County got 2 grants, or got a grant.
Got a grant, right.
So my thing is this. if we're going to look at this, why don't we just spend $100,000 over the next couple of years, maybe $100,000 a year for a good grant writer?
It doesn't cost that much for a good grant writer.
And that's
Trust
all I'm
me.
saying.
Trust me, it doesn't.
That's what I'm saying.
Buna had one that they were paying about $50,000 or $60,000 for, and they wrote all kinds of grants and got all kinds of money.
And my thing
All
is this.
kinds of money.
So there's like this pressure to get this done. We've got to get this done. We've got to get this done. No, we only have to do for the community what is actually going to save lives immediately.
Right.
Nothing about broadband is going to be saving lives. Everybody wants to talk about telehealth and stuff like that, and that's all fine and good. But I can tell you this, there are people in this community already who've been using telehealth for years
Right.
with no issues.
All right.
So to me, all I can say, that's my rant on the, if you're going to be voting, really consider what you're voting about, because as we move forward, once again, $1,000, I say $1,000, they're going to bring this back and they're going to shove it down your throat because most of you are going to go to sleep after election. That's what's going to happen.
You're probably right. You're
So,
probably right.
Back to Johnny Depp and Elon Musk buying Twitter. Are you on Twitter, sir?
I am not. I at one time had a Twitter account, but I saw no purpose in it.
Yeah.
You know, at that time it was only 144 characters, and I just can't write.
Is it still
quick
only
enough.
144
It's
characters?
it's more than that now. I think it's
Is it?
doubled or tripled. I can't remember.
Really?
But even then, you know, I might need
What
to
is
write.
it about?
Well, you just get on there and think about random thoughts you have at any one time.
Really?
The sun is pretty today.
I don't know.
The moon is gorgeous tonight. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm wearing green shirt today.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I'm going to eat eggs later.
yeah,
You know,
so
this
stuff
type of
like
deal.
that. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got us a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I was reading the other day, after World War II in Slovenia, they had this party there. And the Communist Party became Socialist Democrats. And then they merged with progressives. I was wondering, does that sound familiar to anybody there?
A little bit.
It absolutely sounds like it. It sounds like that's where we're headed.
Yeah, we're definitely headed that way. And I've been invited to join the Democrat Party, and I told them I don't want nothing to do with it. And I used to vote Democrat
Right.
sometimes. You know, if that's the only one or whatever. Now I don't vote for any Democrat for any reason whatsoever.
Well, I think, to be honest with you, man, I think that's the best part about a democracy. Is that you have the opportunity to not vote for a Democrat ever, and I have an opportunity to not vote for a Democrat ever, and so to me,
Or a Republican ever.
or a Republican, yeah, I mean, and I think what's crazy about the Democratic Party is that there's a lot of folks in this region who do not understand how far the left has gone. They don't understand how far they're no longer Democrats. There needs to be another qualification for where we're at with this woke generation. And to be honest with you, it's not Democrat, because a lot of the things that the Republicans are doing now, those are Democratic. Those are like old school Democrat traits.
Yeah, there's such a thing as a Democrat Republican, unfortunately.
Right?
And they're just trying to get their popularity up and be with the good old boys,
Sure.
And so, yeah.
Well, man, we appreciate you calling in.
And hey, I got another idea here.
Okay.
And this one might make everybody happy. I like that laugh. There's a group that wants to kill babies, and there's a group that is for executing certain criminals.
Right.
Now, if the group that wants to execute stops killing babies. Do you think we ever get along? Do you think the fighting would stop?
No, I don't. I think humanity is tainted to the core.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, unless Jesus gets involved, I think we're all screwed. I hate to be such an optimist, but that's really kind of how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. None of this is going to end until Christ returns,
Right.
and we got to go through the 7 years under the Antichrist,
Right.
and those few that do survive that 7 years.
Right.
See Christ return in the sky.
That's what it says. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, and we don't have long to wait.
Well, I hope not, man. We appreciate you calling in tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right. Have a great night. Yeah, I tell you what, man. A lot of people talk. A lot of people on the conservative side always talk about Democrats and they talk about the left and that time. But honest to God, man, it's almost like the whole spectrum has shifted.
Yeah.
It's like you have the Republican and Democrat back in the '80s, an obvious Reagan. Who was he running against?
Reagan ran against Jimmy Carter, and then he ran against Walter Mondale.
Okay, so you've got these two guys out here that are catalysts, if you will. And it seems like the whole thing's moved over this way, where now your Republicans are they're big business Democrats in a way.
Yeah, they are close to what happened in the 60s with the Democrats, especially the Southern Democrats. I've got to agree there. And to be honest with you, I don't like either side at this point.
No.
I don't care for them at all. I don't see anything positive coming out of them.
Sure.
All they want to do is fight and spend money.
Right.
And I see nothing positive right now in our government, either be it in Austin, be it in Washington, heck, be it here in Jasper.
Sure.
You know?
Well, one of the things that concerns me is that we were talking about this before the show.
Right.
But how many food preparation and food not storage, but warehouses where they put all this food together, how many of those things have burned down?
11.
11 of them.
11.
Across the U.S.
Yeah.
11 of them.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And I don't know if you pay any attention to the commodities market, but it is shocking how much sugar, wheat, corn has gone up.
yeah.
It's just shocking. I'm just sitting there going, every morning I get up and watch Bloomberg for a while
Sure.
until I can't stomach it anymore and then turn
Right.
it off. But the commodity market is just shocking.
Out the roof.
Shocking.
And I'm sitting here, we've got problems around the corner. And if we're distracted with the Johnny Depp trial, we're going to miss a few key points. So they're talking about food shortages. Bill Gates is talking about food shortages.
yeah.
And yet Bill Gates is buying up all the
Or
farmland,
the farmland
in the United
in
States.
the Midwest, yeah.
He's now currently the number one owner, or he owns the most amount of farmland
Right.
of anybody in the U.S.
Right.
Probably outside of the CCP, but
Yeah. You're right.
and then Gates turns around and he's investing in a company that produces fake meat.
Yeah.
He's one of the number one investors. And he's talking about food shortages, and we have all these food supply houses burning down.
up.
And then all of our food that's shipped in here, a bunch of materials, bunch of everything is all clustered up over there beside China.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying is this, ladies and gentlemen, you might be out there and you might be the type of person who just eats all the food on the plate, like your parents told you, and you get up from there and you wonder why you have cholesterol issues. But here's the fact of the matter. This is game, set, match. And we are being played like puppets out here. 100% played like puppets. This has been orchestrated across the globe.
There is.
Or the flat earth, whichever one you subscribe
I
to.
don't care what you say. There's going to be shortages of everything this summer.
Sure.
I don't know if you've paid any attention or not, but everything in China is shutting down right now. The city of Beijing, the city of Shanghai, they are shutting them down. You may not realize this or not. These are some of the major manufacturing for any kind of things you want to think about. Parts for
Sure.
cars,
Yeah.
chips, anything else.
Yeah.
And they're shut down right now.
Yeah.
And you think we had problems getting stuff before, it might get worse.
Yeah.
And if there's a food shortage as such, I'm not going to be shocked.
My question is this. How old are you?
I will turn 65 in August.
Well, happy early birthday.
Yeah, well, whatever.
So, 65, you have a wife at home
I do.
who works still? Still working?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And how do you guys handle a food shortage?
We really don't because we don't eat as much as we used to.
Okay.
You know, we can make something and eat on it literally for a week now.
Okay.
And it gets to the point where by Friday, we got to have this again.
So my question is, how if you were to say, okay, news comes out, breaking news, everything is shut down.
Okay.
There's no more food.
Kind of ready right now, a little bit.
Ready for how long, you think?
I don't know. Probably longer than what I think.
Okay.
Probably longer than what I
So
think.
really what you're telling me is you have cats and dogs and stuff like that.
I'll eat a dog if I have to. As I've said previously, I've been to China. I've probably eaten worse.
Oh man, you know what's crazy?
Look,
you know what's crazy about the
Jay,
United States?
Jay, my first night when in China, we had donkey for supper,
Well-
and it was good. So I'm sitting there going,
but what's
and I know good and well one time I had goldfish, so I'm
Right.
sitting there going, hey.
You would have been better off. You'd have been better off saying that you slapped a kid than saying you would eat a dog.
I will.
Because there are dog people out here right now.
I don't care.
Now, there's a difference between a dog owner and a dog people. Dog people are a different rhythm.
I know this,
It's just a different rhythm.
but it's just a dog.
And there's no way they would eat their dogs.
Oh.
And I understand some people have pets and it's their child. I understand all that. At the same time, so you do have cats and dogs is what you're saying?
I don't have cats or dogs, but I will eat a dog or a cat. I have no fear of it. Somebody's calling in. I have no fear of eating a dog.
Crazy.
Hey,
Oh, man,
a dog is large enough to make a good meal.
There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go over to our caller. Go ahead, caller.
Beach Grove resident, I just wanted to call in and say I like the show.
Hey, man, we
Appreciate
appreciate it.
And I'm going to max out on growing okra, or okra as some people call it.
Okra, that's
Okra.
right.
Survival. That's my survival answer.
That's your go-to, huh?
Plus, I study a lot of, wild plants that are edible. So,
So you're a forager.
yeah, forager, exactly. I advise people to learn about that.
Yeah.
And anyway, I just wanted to say, I don't watch TV at all unless I'm at somebody's house and they're watching it.
Yeah.
But and the award shows, I mean, they're anybody who would spend hours watching that, I got a question there.
But you're not interested in whether or not Halle Berry is wearing Versace or not?
Well, I mean, I don't mind viewing Halle Berry. That's probably one reason I'm not watching the show. But I think, here's my thought. I think the whole deal with, which I listen to radio and I do look at YouTube. I think the whole deal with Will Smith and Chris Rock was staged
100%.
to try to increase their ratings.
Yeah, 100%. And it didn't do very well, even with that.
Yeah. Well, it's that like y'all said, they aren't actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man, and we eat this stuff like it's really happening, none of it's scripted, like none of the production companies are buying those awards. Come on, man, What are we talking about here?
A bunch of fake stuff.
That's exactly right. That's
So, hey, all right, y'all are doing a great job. Maybe tell some of us business people, local business people, might want to be a sponsor. So maybe just tell us how we might do that. I'm hanging up.
All right, man. I appreciate it. So if you want a sponsor out there and you're a business, all you have to do is go over to notonthepayroll.com, notonthepayroll.com. You can hit us up on the website. You can hit us up on Facebook. You can hit us up on YouTube. Shoot us a message. Just say, hey, I want to be a sponsor, and then we will get you all the adequate information. And to be honest with you, to sponsor this show, it's not that expensive. You're just helping us basically pay for our time here on the radio.
Exactly.
And everything else we're doing for is the interviews and the things that we're doing in the community to help just bring more awareness to what's going on here in the region.
And Jay and I are not making any money here. We're doing this for free.
Yeah, we're basically sitting here, we're winging it and preparing it. And so if you're out there and you want to sponsor, you can join in with Auto Salon, Lake Area Pond, and Stuart Glass. Here's the thing. Sometimes we may say stuff that's disturbing, like eating a dog. But, I will say this, I've been over in Newton and they don't have a pound or anything like that.
There you go.
It may become a reality.
Look, desperate time calls for desperate measures sometimes.
That's exactly right.
You never know.
Yeah. Well, all I can say is this. If you don't have dogs and cats, you might want to plant up some okra and go get you some foraging books, because that sounded like what our last caller had dialed in there. Get you a few foraging books and learn how to pick out. If I go into the woods, if you go into the woods, all right?
Sure.
If you go into the woods and you start looking around, you start trying to find stuff to eat.
All right.
Now, I know there's a couple of mushrooms I can eat out there, but other than that...
No, those are different kind of mushrooms, Jay. Those are the ones that
If I eat
take a trip and don't leave the farm.
If I eat these mushrooms, I'm not going to be worried about eating.
Yeah, I know this.
I'll be worried about what's chasing me, but I will not be worried about eating.
That 50-foot pink rabbit.
Yeah. Do you know how to go and forage?
Not really.
Not really?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I'll be honest.
Honestly, I think
Do you?
No, but it's something I'm fascinated with on TikTok, where people go in and they just start loading stuff up, and they're like, yeah, we're just going to have this for our salad tonight. And they've got these awesome mushrooms or these awesome things nettles. I'm learning about nettles, and I don't know. But there's got to be a way for us to prepare for these food shortages. If the zombies show up during the food shortages, we are really going to be in a bind. If the aliens show up during the food shortage season, because it's coming, you might as well get ready for it. Matter of fact, go ahead.
You know it's going to get goofy. It's
going to get crazy.
Goofy.
Wait till they shut off all of the welfare and the food stamps and all that stuff, and then they holler food shortage.
Man.
Guess what happens? I'm telling you.
I know it.
If you're out there and you've been hoarding up your food and all that stuff, you better get ready. You better get armed to the teeth, because
you better go buy you an AR or an AK, and that's no fooling.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it all. I am interested to see how Bill Gates is going to rescue us, though, because I'm almost positive that he's going to provide some way out, some help. Or maybe he's going to let a bunch of us die off like some sort of supervillain.
Do you think this is the old saying that they're going to say by 2030 you will own nothing and be glad?
I think that's where we're headed.
You think that's where they're headed?
Yeah.
Do you think that we'll all be forced to move into cities?
I think there's going to be a lot of that. I think there's a lot of that, but you're only speaking things that's already been outlined in Agenda 21 that the United States signed into agreement with back during Bill Clinton's reign here in the U.S.
In Europe, most of the people already live in cities. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know you've not been to Europe, but you get out into Europe, everything is in farmlands. There are very, very few homes. Everybody lives in town.
Everybody's pushed to the town.
Everybody lives in town.
Well, what do you think's happening right now with with Walmarts? Everybody lives within 30 minutes of a Walmart.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I do.
Everybody lives within 30 minutes.
Yeah. Does Newton have a Walmart?
Newton does not, thank God.
Really?
And you know what? to be honest with you, that's been the saving grace for the whoring out over there.
Of Newton County?
Yes, because I mean that's exactly what that did.
But y'all have a Dollar General, don't
whenever
you?
Walmart came in, we've got a Dollar General.
You have a Family Dollar.
We have one Family Dollar and one Dollar General.
Okay.
And we have a Brookshire Brothers, and that's it.
Okay.
But what happened whenever, and nobody saw this coming, maybe some people did, but whenever Walmart came in, they started pushing out all of your shoemakers. They started pushing out all of your seamstress and your clothing providers. All of those small mom and pop companies, they just put it all under one roof and pushed everybody out.
Right.
And basically hoard us all out to the Walton family.
To the
out
Walton
here.
family.
That's exactly right. That's what's happened. And so, honest to God, you know, you don't have to live off of Walmart. You don't have to live off of that. You can do better. Everybody can go out and go find better ways and better means. I mean, when we move into a region, we normally try to find who's got the real raw milk, who's got the real and ready eggs, and who's got the whiskey. And so that's kind of the.
You got a moonshiner that you know of over in Newton County?
I cannot expose any of my contacts, my sources. But no, the thing is, whenever we go in, I mean, we're really trying to find who we can support on a local level. And honest to God, it almost seems like they're forcing us back to that. And I think if we just go ahead, it's like some of these small boutiques and stuff. Some of these people who are out here and they're selling and they're doing things in the community, support those guys, man. Stop supporting the devil down there at Walmart, because that's all that thing is. You might as well be supporting the CCP if you go down there and spend your dollar at Walmart. Now, I'm not one of these guys who jumps up and down and beats on his pulpit, and by God, I'm not ever spending my dollars with Walmart.
All right.
I'm not that guy, because sometimes I've got to go down there to Walmart to find a stupid plug that fits my phone. You know what I'm saying?
I can't remember the last time I've been to Walmart. I'll be honest with you.
Man.
I cannot. Dollar General now, that's another story. But Walmart,
See,
no.
but to me, the towns ought to get local. You ought to ball up and get local and find out who the local people are.
Have we
and
passed
support
that
them.
point, though?
No,
Are we
because I
to
mean,
that
it's just
point?
like
Past
this.
that point.
There are some things that you can do. It's like the meat markets around here. Go support those guys. Quit buying that garbage. Quit buying the garbage down there at the Devil's House. You know, and every time I walk in that place, it makes me want to throw up. And I mean, I know they employ people, and I want you to hear what I'm saying. I know they employ people here in the community, and I appreciate the fact that they're providing jobs. At the end of the day, there's more Chinese stuff there in that building, in that one building, than what you're going to find throughout the rest of these communities in the region. There's more Chinese product there.
Oh, sure it is.
And so, to me,
Sure it is.
find go to these farmers markets. Man, they got the farmers markets that are set up here. Go and support those guys. People are making cheese, they're making soap, they're making all kind of stuff. They've got the vegetables out there. Go hook it up and eat some real stuff. I feel like I'm turning into my father talking about this.
Is he into this?
No, he's just a preacher, and I feel like I'm preaching right now.
Oh, okay.
But I mean,
Now, you sounded like you're
support
preaching.
locally. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Lord. You got to support the local folk, man. You got to support the local folk. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Not on the Payroll. If you're just tuning in, you just missed out, but you can find us on YouTube. Go to YouTube, go to Facebook, go to notonthepayroll.com. My name is Jay Sharp. I'm the host, and my co-host, Kerry Thomas, here is sitting on my side. And I want to remind you, Newton County Judge runoff, final debate, May 3rd. Ladies and gentlemen, we love you. Support your local people.
Vote for the propositions.